All right, guys, welcome in. Oh, it's on the wrong deal. Hold on here. Oh, man. Anyway, hold on. Let me try to get this scene on the right scene. So how do I do this here? Welcome in, everybody. Just when you think news can't get any stranger, it gets stranger. So hopefully I can figure out how to do this. Man. It's like every night it's a struggle to get the broadcast going, to get the broadcast on the right scene. And so this might take me a second here because I got to get it to the right source. And oh, we're getting there. I might be able to get it here. So a 30-second intro turns into a minute and a half to 2 minutes almost every night. So you can come in late and you'll be fine. Anyway, we only have 14 days left till the end of YouTube as we know it. We already can't send no messages anymore. Comments get thrown into different categories depending on what you type in your comment. Facebook, same way. You don't get to see all the comments. They're automatically filtered. Your opinion is filtered. Anyway, we just had a big earthquake, 6.4 over in Albania. That's going to create some bad damage. If you go back just, I think it was last year, or back in, when was that? They had a 5.6 that struck on September 21st. It caused quite a bit of damage, so you can imagine what this one's going to be doing. And there's already having aftershocks, 5.3s, 6.4. You had a 4.3 in Chile, 5.4 in Papua New Guinea, a 5 in New Caledonia. The list just goes on. I'm not even going to cover all them. We got too much other strange news to get in. If we get time, we'll go into the earthquakes later. We've had 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts to hit Mammoth area ahead of the storm. On the Saharas, semi-truck trailer flipped over, down power lines. A whole stretch of highway in Southern California on Monday ahead of the winter storm, expected to bring 2 feet. 2 feet of the 90 inches coming here in a couple weeks. So a 94-mile-per-hour wind gust was reported Monday morning at Mammoth Lakes Airport. Elsewhere, gust of 101. And we're going to see some pretty good travel issues here over the next few days. Actually, this whole winter time is going to be the climate chaos. Now we have a weather weapon getting ready to hit the Bering Sea to bust up the sea ice. Heavy storms set to hit northwest Arctic will likely disrupt the fragile sea ice. See, they've already been melting the sea ice up in the north. They've been trying to do it for 100 years. That's why they create the man-made cloud blanket over the Arctic, over the Bering Sea. And I'll show you here in a little bit, the ship tracks are back. They're out there deploying more bunker fuel, setting up for the next weather systems. You know, there's no mainstream talking about these storms going into Alaska, into BC yet. And they probably won't talk about them till a day or two before. Unless we force the issue and one of these videos goes viral where we're talking about the heavy snow that's coming inbound. We also got some waves. They're going to be hitting the west coast. We got 40-foot waves getting ready to come into the west coast, which will show that. Now we've seen all the targeted weather over in Europe. And now they got the extra tropical cyclone Sebastian. It was Sebastian, is moving in. You got mega flooding going out here. Same place the weather engineering was going on, the massive floods, and now the earthquake. All in the same area. Every single time. We know they're messing with the ionosphere. You know, they're always talking about the global warming and the climate change. UK snow forecast coldest winter in 100 years. A 3-month sub-zero hits Britain. You know, we're seeing this everywhere. Texas had the coldest July on record, but yet they keep telling us how hot it is. But yet everything is so cold. That's because they're creating the blanket. They're creating the polar shifts to move the cold air around. They're all fabricated. Now we got a new thermal area in Yellowstone National Park. Now they sent some guys out here to go check it out. And I guess apparently it's way out into the middle of the woods, which, you know, it's hard to believe nobody would go back there exploring anyway. But they said this is a new thermal area that's really still developing. All the trees have already been killed off right there. Caustic chemicals are boiling up from underground near Turn Lake. You can already see where trees have fallen. The underside of the tree that was facing the ground was sort of scorched. What do you mean, sort of? You know, we already are pretty damn sure that there's magma on the move all under the West Coast. You know, we're seeing all these different signs. You know, when the ground's dropping 40 centimeters, you know, in a whole giant area, like down in Ridgecrest, that's pushing the magma somewhere. And if you go out through history, you can see the Yellowstone volcano has had different areas that it's erupted in. It's always on the move. Everything is always on the move. Now, we just talked about a earthquake up in New Hampshire yesterday. Now, this is an article from last year. A new super volcano is brewing under Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire. There's actually a lot of weird news coming out up here. So they say it could be millions of years. Man, they don't know. They don't know. This is all just like fear porn. You got a turbulent Tuesday strong weather system to bring chilly temperatures. This is in the Midwest. Same thing that we've been talking about for a while. It goes from 70 degrees, you know, into the winter. No fall, no spring. Now there's this article coming out of the Boston Globe, and I think I got the full article. Yeah, here it is. Go ahead and close that down. More deadly mosquito trouble may be ahead, federal officials warn. The weird thing is this is up in Massachusetts, way up in the Northeast. I didn't even think they would have mosquitoes up there. It's cold up there. So the official said state and local departments can provide early warning by surveilling the horses, the birds, and mosquitoes, but even these blunt prevention tools are continuously threatened by underfunding. Oh, it's about the money. So more ways to get you to try to get the vaccines. I mean, there can't be a mosquito problem up this far north. You know, they're saying that this they have witnessed steady stream of airborne viruses such as dengue fever, West Niles, chikungunya, Zika, Passawan. I call BS. Mosquitoes they don't live that long. They can't fly that far. This is all engineered event, just like everything. This comes out of the Daily Mail. First the land, now the water. How China is the biggest buyer of Australia's most precious resource. China's trying to take over. 10.4% of Australians' water rights are owned by foreigners. Chinese investors are the largest group. Experts say this is not necessarily problematic. Oh, sure it is. They're in a mega drought. So the Chinese investors own 732 gigatons of water on the market. You control the water, you control life. Just like the rivers of the sky. We can see where this is going. We're always talking about how California is ripping the people off out there every way they can. The California driver's license, the DMV, is making $50 million a year selling drivers' personal information. So they're selling your information, making just tons of money off the people. It's more, not only are they selling your information to generate them revenue, then you're getting bombarded by calls and spam and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we had another recall. Walmart pork products containing superbugs. Hey, thanks out there, plays in the dirt. Resistant to critically important antibiotics discovered. So testing has revealed the presence of bacteria resistant to multiple antibiotics in pork products sold at Walmart stores in the eastern U.S. See, this is like the war on meat. They're trying to bring in these plant-based foods. Most of the food in America is outlawed in other countries. So they tested 80 pork samples purchased from several Walmart stores in the mid-Atlantic region, 80 from outlets belonging to competing national retail chain. They were tested in 32 batches of 5 and analyzed. So they had E. coli in 14 batches. I can't even pronounce that name in 27 batches. Salmonella in 6 batches. Listeria in 4 batches. You may not want to buy any products from Walmart. Anything. They're the superstores, man. That's the one that are taking out all the small mom and pop shops. When a Walmart moves in, it just wipes out the whole economy, except for them. We talked about last couple nights about the high levels of aluminum in the aircraft trails. Back in 2015, there was a threat that came out. The aluminum threat to the food security revealed. One third of the world's food producing land has been lost in the past 40 years as a result of soil degradation, putting global food security at risk. Acid soils cost $1.5 billion per year in Australia alone. The researchers discovered that aluminum in soils could reduce the growth of roots within 5 to 30 minutes of exposure. Insane, man. This is what's happening to everything. It's coming from the plains. They can deny it all they want, but we just keep finding research to prove them wrong. Now this is crazy, man. This is the Bob meat. They call it the Bob meat. How do you spell Bob backwards? Could this food made from electricity and air replace cows? I doubt it. So the food of the future doesn't have a name yet. For now, his team of 2 all stuffed into the lab the size of a really big walk-in closet calls it biomass. They laugh politely and suggest to call it Bob. Man, this is just going into some weird stuff. The biomass of which 2 coffee cups worth exist in the world is the Raisin D Solar Foods Company. They have claimed they've worked out a way to produce an edible protein-rich organism using electricity and air in a little oscillator in a tiny room. They're making what comes out into a chunky, taste-free white powder, which they can show me, but they don't let me eat. whose main ingredients are electricity and carbon dioxide. Within 3 years, they hope to have a new lab, a pilot factory, to be producing 1 million kilograms of bob per year. Gross. So, wow. Yeah, they're just crazy where this is going, man. Strange times that we're in. Also, bag salad mixes sold at Walmart, Aldi being recalled due to E. coli concerns. Bag salad sold at Walmart, Aldi, Target, other Michigan retailers are being recalled due to E. coli concerns, man. This is just never ending. They've targeted the whole food chain, including like deer. You know, everything is getting sick. So, California, you know, they don't have any money. They say they don't have any money. But yet, you know, they don't do controlled fires, controlled burns. They don't let you clean up your scraps out in your yard. You know, they fine you for doing that stuff. But yet they have the money to spend billions of dollars on super trains. And now they just bought, like, I wrote it down somewhere here, $300 million in some Black Hawk helicopters to deploy the water. These things are $25 million each, and they ordered 12 Black Hawks. The funding request dates back to a Blue Ribbon Fire Task Force commission during, you know, Governor Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. They also bought a fleet of the big planes, the C-130 air tankers, 6 new C-130s equipped with water retardant drops, and the 7th will haul the equipment and the people. Boy, they sure do have a lot of money for not having no money. Pretty nuts stuff. Now, Iran has been cut off from the internet for almost 72 hours. You got to keep your eyes on what's going on in these other countries. See how they're silencing the people. They just turned the internet off. That's, you know, we'll just turn it off. No communications. You can't rally up. You know, this is all the plan. This is an old article from 2017. Areas of high levels of 5.6 gigahertz microwave radiation pollution in Huntersville, North Carolina. An environmental microwave radiation study was performed in Huntersville, North Carolina. The study was performed to aid researchers and the public investigating the high rate of melanoma in the region. The study included both radiation modeling and electromagnetic radiation field survey of the area. The study looked specifically for the 5.6 gigahertz non-ionizing weather radar located just north of Miranda Road. The study looked at both radar beam obstruction as well as measured radiation levels at the selected sites at the ground level in the area. For microwave measuring equipment, a portable tech USB spectrum analyzer attached to a Microsoft Windows laptop. And they've seen this thing, the max pulse power was 250,000 watts at a frequency of 56.8. The pulse repetition factor was up to 1700. Pulse duration 1.1 seconds. So to say these things do not pulse, to say these things do not send off microwaves is nonsense, because we have it right here. Just more confirmation that the next rads are affecting the environment. We got this new company out called Sky Grid. I almost think this is a, hold on, I gotta get a drink. the aerial operating system. Excuse me. The T didn't go down wrong. The herbal teas. The aerial operating system for the next generation travel and transport, called the Sky Grid, got the triangle logo up in the clouds. This is like the Skynet software. We know this is the same kind of software that they use for the aerosol spraying planes. That's why they don't crash. So you get, see, they're trying to create. Here, I probably can play this. Let's just play this deal here. So the time machine. Boeing. You know, we're going full geostorm very soon. You know, if you're an astronomer and you like to look up and film the sky, man, it's just going to be miserable trying to get a clear shot because you got all these things flying around blocking the view. Well, I guess it ain't gonna show much. Okay. Alright, well, let's just get out of there then. Yeah, we're not gonna get into this. You know, they're wanting to do all the delivery. I mean, the sky is just gonna be inundated with drones, surveillance. So, see, they can fight firefighting and for fire starting. Drones are helping curb climate change. Really? How could the drones be helping climate change? First, you had to have the facilities to build the drones. You had to have the resources, then you had the pollution from the drones. So no, there's no way in hell these are fighting to curb climate change. See, that's the these people just think we're stupid. You know, you had the rain that come in down in Australia to try to put the fires out. Apparently sparked more fires. So even though they got, you know, torrential rain, they think that numerous lightning strikes have sparked more fires. Hey, thanks out there, Lawrence. Every time they show a picture of a firefighter, he's not even putting the water out. I don't think I've seen one image of them putting the fires out. So far, 663 homes have been destroyed. They still had 50 uncontained fires. So it's just, you know, it's apocalyptic down in Australia. And there's some bunker fuel operations out there off the coast also. So, all right, so here we are. Let's look at a few maps here. Looks like some normal clouds going on. But when you put on the bunker fuel layer, we can see the bunker fuel operations have begun again. All out here in this low spinning pressure. And then you have another bunker fuel operation right off the coast of Los Angeles. And I'll show you some better views of them. Here's the one out here in the low pressure. When I get this thing moving, I mean, you're north and west of the Hawaiian Islands up there, you know, where the wind weapon's getting ready to hit. And then I also have it on this, but I'll have to put it on the microphysics so you can see them. See right there, you can already see them coming off the Aleutian Island chain. Then the secondary bunker fuel operation is down here off the coast of California. You know, down in Australia, they cut the volunteer firefighters by 75% before the fires even started. Like, they did it on purpose. They knew they weren't going to have enough firefighters to put these fires out. So you have big bunker fuel operation all off the west coast, and then over here. Right there. Look at them all going up into the Bering Sea there at the end. So let me get that up there so you can see them all. They're all going into the Aleutian Island chain. So you got a whole mob of them right here. A whole mob of them right there. When you take a look at the Earth null. Where'd my Earth null go? You know, they're going to be right out in this area around this low pressure system. Now watch when I go up with this. It's like we have a hurricane over the Bering Sea. And then we're going to have this little wind weapon heading for the west coast, which is going to produce like 40-foot waves hitting California. In fact, we can check the wave machine here. 35-foot waves. As it gets closer, they're going to get a little bigger. 41.1 foot waves. This is on the 26th. This is tomorrow. So right there at the coast of Northern California, Oregon, you're looking at 36-foot waves. Put it back on now. So yeah, crazy wind pattern. I mean, when you look at the jet stream, it's just mind-blowing. I mean, look how wide this jet stream is. Like, that's huge. That's a huge swath of jet stream right there. They've got it split apart right where the bunker fuel operations are. Exactly where the bunker fuel operations are. They've split this jet stream, created a trough, and then it's going up into a ridge. You got the other section, the other spraying operation is right here. So they're splitting it in two different parts. And you got mega winds coming in. We'll drop down in levels. Let's go to the vortice layer. Look at them high winds are still right there. We can drop down to 850. That's around 4,000 foot. They drop down pretty good, but look up here. It's a wind weapon hitting Alaska. Now you add that in with the snow. Let's put this on the 3-hour precipitation to see what it shows. And let me go up a day or two at a time. So look at all that rain for California, right where the bunker fuel is. Try to take this up a little slower at a time. So right when the wave weapon's coming, then here comes the rain. They must have all their burning done. Look at that, 2 inches or 1.21 inches every 3 hours. So California's going to get a pretty good blast of rain and snow. Up to 2 feet of snow. And then here in a couple of weeks, the models are showing 90 inches of snow for one area. I mean, we'll just have to see if that happens. Well, you got a big old rainmaker, inch an hour down there in the Bajas. Let's see if this thing loaded yet. This thing's so hard to get loaded. Yep, there's the other bunker fuel operations right there. This thing goes so fast when it does load, it's crazy. So crazy, you know, these ships been gone for about a week now. Then they were out in the Atlantic Ocean for one day before the megastorm hit over in Europe. And they're always lurking around the low pressure, high pressures. They're like, I think they're using this bunker fuel somehow to split the jet streams or split the pressure systems. It definitely has something to do with it. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I'm sure time will tell exactly what they're doing. So crazy operation right there. Let's go ahead and get into the worldview map. Yeah, you just can't, you don't really see them unless you put this 3.7 microns on, and it turns the particle size where you can actually see the bunker fuel that's being deployed. So you got to out trick them to find them. So you got the tic-tac-toe board of bunker fuel. Tons of aerosols being sprayed in the system. We got some freaky stuff to look at tonight on this. Not a lot of spraying going on in California. I mean, you got like just some couple rogue sprayers down here, and that's about it until you get down into the San Diego. Here comes the spraying operations. They're going to spray out ahead of the system that's coming in tomorrow. I'm sure tonight we're going to see aerosols. There'll be nighttime spraying. You know, they're working with that system down there. Spraying operation, a real thin one, all the way from Kansas through Missouri. They were laying just these huge liners. Like, here they are right here. Here's one. I seen these being deployed in Kansas City today. Just it wasn't a total grid out. It was just 4 or 5 huge lines, and we're seeing it. They're setting up the system between the cold and the hot, and also seeding the storm. So yeah, definitely being deployed. You got them all. Now we're starting to get a little bit more of the grids in northern Kansas, and they're definitely spraying out off the coast of New Orleans and over the whole lower part of Louisiana, all the way across, and then southern Florida. Whoa, what is that? Whoa, look at that freaky. It looks like barcodes. They forgot to take the barcodes off the weather map. So yeah, aerosols being deployed all over Florida. Actually, it looks like they come all the way down through Panama City. Toxic skies. So that's all drifting over Florida right now, going all the way into the Bahamas. So you got a big, nasty, toxic sky over the Bahamas. If you're on vacation, you didn't get away from it. It come to you. South Carolina, you got a few rogue sprayers. Boston looks like it's getting hammered with the frequencies. Add a few aerosols. Nothing super big, but frequencies for everybody. Gotta try to remember where I seen all the weird stuff. Oh, I know where some of it is. Alright, so you got this big mess, the leftovers of the hurricane coming in up to Ireland, the UK, France. There's a new spraying operation around Barcelona. Look at that chemtrail. Look at that thing coming out of Valencia. That's a monster. That's nasty. It's so easy to spot the fake clouds from the real clouds. You can tell these are dirty, man-made, disgusting aerosols being deployed. So all over. This is north of Morocco. So they're getting just hammered right here. More toxic skies for this part of the world. So it's pretty nasty spraying operation. You know, right where the earthquake is, you have spraying operations, weather warfare, all through the Tyrrhenian Sea. Oh, there's another spraying operation going through Hungary, Slovakia. Oh, guess who's getting hammered today? Jordan, Israel, Tel Aviv, aerosols. 4th time this year. Actually, you could probably call this the 5th time. This is the 4th direct spray over the northern parts of Israel. I mean, this is a bombardment. Must be a scheduled rain event. Went off for a couple days while you got a dust storm blowing the opposite way. So even they are getting aerosol. Even in Iraq, we have tons of aerosols being deployed over Iraq. And this thing up here, this is like its own entity. Let me take this back a day. This is the same entity that flooded out France. You know, it's just weird, man. It's a big spraying operation. And I don't know what kind of mix they have in this thing, but it's causing damage as it goes. But look at this thing. This is just a beast. This is all fake clouds. And then you go to today. I mean, they're still gridding it. Like, here's a huge X. But look at the colors of these aerosols. What are they deploying out here? I wouldn't want to be in this. Whatever it is, it's just so thick and so nasty. It's like its own new kind of man-made cloud. I mean, it's just disgusting. Still over Moscow for 3 days in a row. So they are getting blasted. We also have bunker fuel operations off the coast of Australia. And I can't really tell if they were fires or aerosols. Let me click the layers here. Might be able to see this a little better on the RAM slider. I do see a few aerosols. And the fires. So the rain come in to put the fires out, but the fires grew. They had torrential rain, and you'd think the fires would have went out. But no, look, they sprayed it. They gridded it. This is like thermite. They intensified the fires, even though it's raining. So it's getting to the point where it don't matter if it rains or not. The accelerants are so heavy duty that the fires will continue to burn. They'll blame it on the lightning. This almost looks like the same aerosols being deployed up there and where the crazy one I just showed you. You know, they're not putting fire retardant on these things. These are aerosols. These are, look how it just grew. The fires got worse. I mean, that's an explosion right there. In fact, that's so hot, it's starting to create its own thunderstorm cloud. So are these. And then the aerosols. This complete bombardment. Targeted area. And there's something really weird down here off the coast of New Zealand. This is really weird. And hopefully you guys can see this swirl. It's like a vortex of algae bloom or something. I don't know if you guys can see that. Wonder if I could put an enhancement on here, see if it helps. No, that made it worse. That made it worse. That makes it, you can't even see anything. Yeah, that didn't work. So hopefully you guys can see this. And it's spinning. It's like a spinning vortex. I went back a couple years and I had to go all the way back to 2016 to get a clear day to see it, and it was not here. Yeah, I went back 2016, nowhere to be found. So there's something going on underneath the ocean out here off the coast of New Zealand. Everything is swirling. Some kind of weird stuff going on in the ocean. And there's like a vortex here north of Christchurch. And then you got bunker fuel operations up here to the north. You got a bunker fuel X and a big fat bunker fuel line. And they really didn't come out too good. The only way you can see them on here is through the RAV slider. They're not showing up. It's too messed up. They got too many particulates up in the air. I think that was about all I was going to show you guys on the worldview map. That's weird. They got like the triangle for the north blacked out. You can see yesterday there was no bunker fuel operations out here at all, but yet today they're back. Today they're splitting the pressure systems. Pretty crazy how they just turn it off and on and affect things. All right, where do I want to go here? Here, I guess we could go look at Australia. See if we can pick up the fires, the aerosols being deployed. May not be able to. I got this set up on every hour, 12 photos. And I know I got somebody sent me at the bunker fuel operations office. I can see an aerosol right there. This thing is so hard to get loaded. And then every time I zoom in, it makes it worse. You can see the frequencies over here. But yeah, big old aerosol right there. Give this a second to load. Yeah, the Kim Webbs are dropping out of the skies everywhere. Well, I don't know if this is going to load. We'll give it a shot. I don't have that one running. I do have that running, but I guess while we're waiting on that, we can go ahead and check the polar vortex winds. See if they're doing any kind of ionospheric heating. So we got that big ass. So they've split the vortex winds. Still should be no winds down here, and there's not, so that's normal. We see that this mid-level stream is dropped down below the equator. And then let's check the temperatures. So not see any kind of a heating event yet, but look where all the polar cold is. It's back over here in Europe. It's all pushed over towards Europe, which is keeping the super cold away from the United States. And here we go, looking at the carbon monoxide. You know, I don't know if this is from fracking, volcanic stuff. It's hard to see up there with all the cloud cover. You'd think with all the moisture coming in, I mean, that's a pretty big deal there. Here, let me put the fire map on to see if that's fires or something else. Yeah, so some of this could be fires. Some could be from fracking, you know, venting, burning off the methane, or volcanic. It's showing a lot of fires in California, but really there's not a lot of smoke, so they must be small hot spots. You know, you got the wind machines on right now. A lot of smoke there in Sacramento. Look at the East Coast. What's going on over here? That's where they had the earthquake. That's where there's a supposed super volcano. I want to go ahead and check Australia too. Look at wow. It looks like the fires have gone out quite a bit, but you got new ones sparking off everywhere else. All in the path of the railways. All these. Every single fire lines up with the railway. How'd you like to live in India? This is actually not bad for what they usually get. And then China, man, these people are suffocating out here, having to wear a mask every day. So the air quality, horrible down here off Southern California up around Lake Michigan. Carbon dioxide concentration levels are pretty high, almost off the chart. Take a look at the PM 2.5s. Yeah, definitely in the fire zone, in the volcanic zone. India's really, man, look at that. That's one toxic area. You know, India planted millions of trees, and it actually helped. Yeah, you got some really toxic air down here. I showed you yesterday a picture of the ash on the beaches. That's how bad it is. Let's see if this is loaded yet. Looks like a rocket come up through there. Look at that. Let me do this one frame at a time so we can see this. So see, they got smacked down with the rain. You can see the brown smoke coming up underneath the storm clouds. Should have been putting the fires out. But all in the meantime, as it's raining, as the rain should be putting the fires out, they're also spraying accelerants. Here's one right here. It looks like a rocket. That's not a fire. That's the aircraft. Crazy stuff, man. Everybody's having to deal with this. Let's go ahead and check the see what we got going on in northern and the southern hemisphere. I can already see the plasma lightning. We have to watch this because this is when we'll see hey, thanks sir, Bug Wins. You know, we have to watch this because when we see these big lightning bolts like that, the plasma lightning, we know they're trying to do something to the ionosphere, whether it's a solar wind stream or a geomagnetic space type weather. But we can also spot the engineering. Look at that coming out of Alaska. Huge. And what is this? You know, it's hard to tell if it's an aurora from the sun. Usually what I do is I just check here because this kind of gives me the auroras. No, like all the heavy auroras are over. All right, let me get this spinning. So yeah, they're over on the east. And now it's not going to reload for me. It almost looks like this stuff is just popping off anywhere it wants. So we do got some freaky stuff. We got the purple skies. That represents plasma clouds. So definitely some strange stuff here. Let's check the southern hemisphere. And same thing, it looks like it's lit up pretty good. It's actually lit up way up here by Australia. Look at that. So you got some rocking and rolling here. We might. Let me hit this another frame. It always takes it such a long time to load. Yeah, it's not gonna, it's just taking too long. Somebody had time, man, and you could monitor this stuff. You could see the ice and if it was actually shrinking or growing. I mean, this is pretty clear footage of Antarctica. I mean, it's pretty damn clear. You can see all the depressions. Probably could explore down here and find all kinds of weird stuff. It just takes so much memory and hard drive space. Like, that's crazy looking right there. Let's go ahead and put this over on the east side, and we'll check out the Cirrus chemtrails in action for the day. So let's go ahead and see who got sprayed today. Well, definitely out there off the coast. Look at that spraying operation there. Going over Florida, Bahamas, and then Missouri, Illinois got hammered, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia, Virginia, everybody. Actually, everybody, but really California didn't get hit too hard. They're all out off the coast in the bunker fuels. And it looks like North Dakota and South Dakota pretty much got a break for just a little bit. And you can't really see over Arizona and New Mexico, but yeah. So if you got a little break, it's coming, because the next system is coming in. And we'll check that real quick here. Before we go, let me get to the models here. Now I just want to put this on the snow. They're all talking about the snow. So we'll just put the 24-hour accumulated snow. So this is just the snow in inches. And we're going up 6 hours at a time. So you can see California is going to get quite a bit of moisture. So is Oklahoma, southern Missouri, Arkansas, Arizona, and then up here in the north, right over Yellowstone. Looks like they're trying to flood out Yellowstone here in the next 120 hours. Hey, thanks out there, Elijah. So, wow. Let's check out the rain. Let's go to just the rain. Total. This is just the rain and snow coming in. The wind right there is insane. I mean, that is crazy wind. So this is wave one of like 3 or 4 waves. Well, just all winter. We got this coming all winter. Let's see if we can do like the whole world and just see what it does. I don't know that I've tried this. This is just going to show us the high and low pressures. Try North America, see what it gives us. Yeah, it's not going to let us do the... Let's try the temperatures in. Can we get the temperatures? You see minus 27 up there in Greenland. This is what we'll be watching when they're doing the splitting of the polar vortex and the atmospheric compression events. We'll see when they're pushing that super, super cold air down. It's all over in Europe right now. Let's look at the cold air in Europe. Which I'm not going to be up high enough. So where would I have to go to get that? Maybe this. Yeah, this will probably show it. So we're still not the super, super colds. We got minus 34, minus 35. So it's not full-fledged. There's some minus 40s starting to get in there. No minus 60s, minus 70s. So the super, super cold air is not there yet. So it looks like we still have a couple weeks to go before they really get the super Arctic cold to screw with us. Anyway, guys, we're going to call this a night. Much love out there. Thanks to everybody that helps support us and shares this information out. Helps tremendously. And like I said, now we're down to 13 days left till the YouTube apocalypse. Make sure you subscribe to all the backup and other channels that I got down in the description. Anyway, guys, we're going to play a song called Rise. Somebody's got to stand up and stop this stuff. We got to keep building the community, and then hopefully we can do something about it soon. Anyway, guys, much love. Be safe out there. Armor up. Here we go.